Welcome to Garage Talk. As always, I'm Conrad. Let's go.
I'm Ted. It's time to rock and roll.
Hey, Teddy. Today in the garage, we have with us
Markie Sevier.
Yeah, we're doing it up for you, Markie. What's good, man?
What's good, man? I like that. I like the special effects for me. I mean,
Hey, you know, we
cool.
go all out for our
it's cool.
guests.
It's cool. It's cool. I
I
like that.
bet it was people who was in the gallery of your golf today. Just
Well,
with you.
a lot of Miss Sentinel Indians were with me today, and Brandon Swanner and Landon Swanner on his birthday. So hey,
Oh, so you had a tribe with you, huh?
yeah, I had a tribe with me today. It didn't help any, but I did have a tribe with me.
Sweet, man. Thank you for taking time today,
Yep.
brother. We do appreciate you. And what is this, your third time, fourth time?
This might be my fourth time. I could be wrong. I think it is.
All right, we need to get our fourth time members a jacket.
Yeah, something.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll get you a beer koozie.
Give me a beer, 'cause I'd be just as happy.
So what's been happening, man?
Really, just a lot of sports in my life right now with baseball, junior high baseball, and of course Action Sports Network. Obviously, we wrapped up the winter sports season a couple months ago. Was a lot of fun. Baseball and softball on the air, and then of course Coach Edwards asked me to be the junior high baseball coach for Oak Hill this year, and it's been a blessing. Just kind of giving back to the game in a different way, other than calling it on the radio. Actually coaching these kids, it's been a very, very fun time. And,
Wow, man.
humbling
How's that
experience. It's been a blessing. Really, this year has not been a good year for baseball because of rain. A lot of rainouts this year. But other than that, I mean, the kids are really fun to be with, and it's fun to teach them.
Yeah, yeah. And I think today is like our first hot and sticky day.
It is.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like ridiculous. So, coaching. What's the mode like from being up in the box to being down on the field?
So obviously, everyone, when they're up in the box, they're talking about like, man, I would have tried to say that as a coach or done that as a coach, or if that was a coach there, I would have gone off on that kid. And it's different. It's different actually hopping in those shoes and being down on that third baseline, calling plays, and doing those things. But when I first went into it, I'd never been control of the helm of something like that yet. And I feel like I kind of filled that role very slowly, but I'm getting really comfortable with it. It's taking time,
Sweet.
though.
Yeah, taking a lot of time,
It's taking
I
a
bet.
lot of time, yeah.
And every kid's different.
Yeah.
So, for you, what have you done to like prepare yourself for this?
Really, I've kind of gone back in my mind and thought about how I was as a junior higher. And like sometimes with these kids that are younger, a lot of coaches, parents just can't handle how they act sometimes. I'm like, but we've all been that age, and we kind of have to allow some of the goofiness and the joking around to go on. But I really have let them have fun, but also learn. I've let them know that fine line between fun and a little bit too much. And that's what I'm a guy when I'm coaching. I love like electric dugouts, like a little bit bush, not really bush though, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Just like having a chip
Yeah.
on you, yeah.
So it's kind of, well, but that age, you got to kind of coach each kid different.
You do.
They're still maturing mentally different ways. And but you should be the right person to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and I've had a lot of kids actually ask me like stories about my playing days and stuff, and it's kind of weird because I'm only 4 years out of high school baseball, but they really, I've had a lot of kids tell me like they like a younger coach actually coming in and helping them, because it's hard to connect with the younger kids these days, and especially the stuff they have to grow up with, phones and stuff like that. And it's just fun. It's weird. It's a weird transition for me because I have never really coached, but it's definitely fun.
Well, I was wondering how that is with you being so close in age
Yeah.
to a lot of these kids, like earning their respect, getting them to know, hey, I'm not Markie Sevier, I'm Coach Sevier.
Yeah. It really, that comes with just kind of authority in your voice, and like, you know when I'm messing around, you know when I'm not messing around. We've had some instances this year where either a player didn't get a sign at third base or something along those lines happened, and they saw a different side of me than they see than me at like practice or just before the game. And I think that's the standard you should have, though. Really, just try to keep focused during the game, because really, I'm here to win and prepare them for the high school level.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm like, why are you here if you're not trying to win or get ready for high school?
So how is that, like, in your mind? Is that like getting you ready for
Coach Edwards?
Yeah.
That's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
And I mean, he has me running all the high school signs with them, everything. And really, I had to go back in my mind and kind of remember those as well, and just remember how Coach Edwards practices. But he's one of the toughest coaches in this area to play for, not in a hard way, in a bad way, but he's just really, really has his own standards, and he really sticks to those.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a lot of energy for a baseball coach.
He does. You don't see that much out of a high school baseball coach, really.
Yeah, you can tell he not only loves the kids, loves the game, but he loves the whole aspect of it, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think it definitely reflects year in, year out of Oak Hill baseball, even some of their down years. I mean, they have a winning record this year, and what have they really done, you know? But, I mean, a lot of teams would pray and hope for a record like Oak Hill has this year, and I think this is considered a down year for them.
There's never many down years in a row, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Always
a couple,
Yeah.
but
Always reworking it until they get it right.
rebuilding.
Yeah, because I think Coach Edwards, he puts the kids with the skill sets in the positions for them to succeed.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard with high school baseball, too.
yeah.
Because I feel like baseball is kind of starting to be like not as much as a trend as it was like in past or back in the day, and maybe like 20 years ago. Like kids aren't really into baseball, but it's also kind of climbing up with like AAU and stuff too. So I think it's kind of going both ways right now with kids' interest in baseball.
I know it's hard for people to like conceptualize, but baseball is expensive
It is.
to play, like to be a
Yeah.
player.
It's a country club sport now, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I like that. A bat, a composite bat.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Like 330, 340, insane.
Now, I know that 330, 340 doesn't matter unless you can connect with the ball, but some of those
Yeah.
kids who can hit the curve, you know, sometimes they can't afford that bat. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, and like, that's why I call it a country club sport, because obviously the best golfers right now are trying to get the best clubs, but it's the same thing. If you can't make good contact with the ball in golf, hey, that club really won't do much, and it's the same with baseball.
So is hitting a baseball the hardest thing to do in sports?
I think so, by far.
Yeah. I bet you I couldn't hit a high school pitcher right now.
No.
I don't think I could.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I think out of the three of us, Teddy Spaghetti over here, he could hit one.
I could bunt off one.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Ted's pretty athletic for, you know, you
Yeah.
look at him and you can tell he obviously takes care of himself, but he's really good at knowing the fundamentals. I guarantee you'd get in that box and you'd be like, okay, Ted knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
I see that in you. I do.
I ain't afraid to take one for the team.
Oh,
Let's go on base. I'll get on base.
You're going to take a pitch. You know what? We might have to see that.
You just got to know which way to turn. You got to know where you want to hit you.
No, thank you. No, I'm tender, Ted. I'm tender.
A hit by pitch to the back, honestly, doesn't feel that bad.
Oh, really?
It really does.
No,
Oh, man.
Unless it hit you right in the spine.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Then that hurts.
Like the corner of the back.
Yeah, I've seen Savannah have a tattoo of some of the seams.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, no, thank you.
That actually kind of reminds me of a story from coaching this year. I try to hop in with these kids too and run drills with them and stuff and hop in with the fun stuff. And I was probably about 10 feet from this one kid on my team, and we were running relay drills. We had a line of 6 people just doing cutoffs. And the kid turns around and throws like an Aroldis Chapman fastball right to my thigh. I was trying not to get mad, but it was actually really funny. I had the biggest bruise on my leg from that baseball.
Oh my gosh, dude.
The stories.
I'm telling you right now, it'd take me 3 days. 3 days to be able to roll out of bed. And,
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
yeah. So, hey, man, I know you love your Indiana sports.
I do.
How about them Pacers?
Man, see, as much as I love basketball, I don't really know that much about it, but the Pacers are fun to watch, and they're a little bit different than a lot of NBA teams right now. And just kind of, when I went to the game, game 6 of the was it the semifinals? That was Eastern semifinals, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Yeah, that was one of the loudest arenas I've been in a while, and you can just kind of see the hype. Tyrese Halliburton doing his thing for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I think he's really the guy for Indy.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Who does he need to talk to, Conrad?
Reggie. Reggie needs to call him up and be like, hey, bro, you want to be the man? Here's what you got to do. From tip-off to buzzer, be consistent.
Yeah.
Don't fade in, don't fade out. Got to keep it going the whole game.
The thing about that game 7, though, is I don't know if you saw it, but a fan was actually kind of getting into it, Tyrese Halliburton, and he kind of got a little motivation from that, from what I
Really?
saw, and he was yelling right back at the fan. So I think for him, I think he needs to find something every game, and
Yep, I
he
agree.
found it in that one, and he went off.
He's
Yeah.
got to be that superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to be next level. I can
does.
see it in the regular season. But the regular season doesn't win you. I
No.
mean, doesn't win you playoff games. He's got to show up.
Yeah.
He's got to show up in the easy games and the tough games.
Yeah, it's like Markie said. Every game.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
They got their hands full with Boston, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
What are you thinking, Ted? What's your prediction? We'll see how well this
I think
ages.
I think it's going to go 5 games.
You think it's going to go 5 games?
Yeah.
Boston? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't know. I kind of said the same about New York, though. So
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Indiana's the team you don't want to see.
That's been the thing all season with them, though, because they're really hard to run with. If you haven't noticed, Carlisle calls 1,000 timeouts per game because he has to give his boys a break because they're running up and down the court all day long. And I think that's why you kind of saw these injuries come up with the Knicks, and they looked tired. They looked gassed at the end of that game 7. I think that's just because the ball that Pacers play.
That's a good observation.
I
man.
was just getting ready to say
that
the
was
same
a
thing.
damn good observation. You know what? Now that you said that, they did.
Yeah.
They did. They looked real gassed.
Pacers are fast and athletic.
They are.
And they're young.
They are. And to add Siakam to that midseason,
I
wow.
think that was a big key.
Yeah. And talking about the Boston series, though, I mean, if they had Benedict Mathurin right now,
Oh, yeah.
I think they'd be easily going to the finals.
I think it'd be a different series, too, with him. But Jason Tatum said this week, said he would rather play the Knicks than the Pacers. So,
I agree with him. Yeah, they should be really working out and getting ready, resting to get ran because these guys are young
Yeah.
and they're playing like. I'll tell you who they kind of remind me of. They kind of remind me of the Pistons when they went back to back when they had
Isaiah.
no. Tayshaun Prince.
No, okay.
Yeah, that team. They kind they kind of remind me of them, like young.
It's just different NBA
Fearless.
basketball. Yeah.
Fearless.
And it's been fun to watch them, and I think that's why. It's kind of Indiana basketball in a way.
That travel that was called
Yeah.
was bull crap. He took 3 steps. I see him do 4 steps and that not called. That's ridiculous.
There was not a lot of good calls in that whole series, though. I mean, game 1, Pacers didn't win it, but in my opinion, I think it was kind of stolen from them. There's a couple
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
NBA is like that though. The officiating's kind of different.
Well,
It's-
go ahead, Ted.
It is. I mean, it's just
I think
they
they need,
call those so many touch fouls.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
let them play.
But hey, you got me thinking when you mentioned the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
See if either one of you guys can name 2 players that played at Notre Dame that also played for the Detroit Pistons.
I probably wasn't alive, so.
Oh, you weren't.
Okay.
Was I alive?
Yeah.
Are you sure, Teddy?
Yeah.
I give up.
They played in the 90s. Adrian Dantley,
Okay.
Kelly, Tripucka. Which
I don't know who Kelly.
I've heard you did that quite a bit.
What?
Tripucka.
It was only that 3 or 4 times, Ted. It was only 3 or 4 times. But yeah, I mean, the Pacers are fucking so good.
They are.
Like, I'm really impressed. Now switching gears, WNBA, man.
Caitlin Clark, yeah.
What do you think about her?
I think it's going to be a slow transition. I really do.
I'll tell you what. I watched a couple of the Liberty games. They roughed her up.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that screen that she
Oh,
ran
they
into.
roughed her
Yeah.
up. That rough. You know, I think now is the time when she's got to go sit in front of the mirror and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna not man up, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna play through these, and they're trying to hold me down, but they can't stop me."
The thing is, though, with her confidence was just kind of through the roof at Iowa. I think she just needs to get to that point. And obviously, strength will come as she goes on the WNBA.
Yeah.
She just has to get some shots knocked down.
Well, I mean, to me, excuse me, it's a different beast now that everybody's a pro. Mm-hmm. And her supporting cast sucks.
Yeah.
And so it's going to make it real difficult for her to, like,
And I don't think too many people look at that transition when you go through the draft like she just did. She was just playing college basketball 3 months ago, and then now she's playing a professional sport.
Right, yeah.
Like that is a quick transition for a WNBA player. I don't think that's talked about enough at all.
Well, she had what?
that's a good point.
2-3 weeks off before the draft.
Yeah.
And then it was like that week
Yeah.
they started training camp.
And she's playing right now. I think that's
But
insane.
she has did something only 2 other WNBA players have done in their first 3 games.
Let's hear it, Teddy.
Scored 50 points. I think it was Candace Parker and I think Diana Taurasi were the only other 2 that had 50 points in their first 3 games.
Okay. I like
So-
that, Teddy.
She's selling tickets though.
And
She's selling jerseys.
That's
Like,
good. Yeah.
Crazy. Like, somebody told me those Fever games were sold out.
Yeah, and that's what I was with some friends last night, and a couple of them went to the last game at home for the Fever, and he said it felt like it was sold out. Like the
Really?
atmosphere is just way up there.
Because everybody's
Yeah.
jacked up
Yeah,
for their
Caitlin
rival.
Clark. Yeah.
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 Well, I know this. Like, until they get some help there,
Yeah.
she's going to get battered and bruised and harassed and doubled, and
Yeah.
nobody's going to let her get off on them.
Yeah. It's the same thing as the best quarterback in the NCAA going number 1 to the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's not going to change overnight.
No.
We didn't
Are
see.
we talking about Caleb Williams?
I'm talking about anybody. To attack below. We didn't see him
No.
really bust out until, 4 years in the
Yep.
league. So
Yeah.
That's true. That's a true statement.
And speaking of that, how serious are the Chicago Bears if they're going to draft him? Send Fields.
I think that's the dumbest stuff ever.
How does Russell Wilson feel? Like, bro,
Yeah.
I'd be like, you just brought me here, and now I look kind of like a fool.
I don't know. I don't agree with any of that Bears trade off or anything. I think Justin Fields was your guy as quarterback.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
And you know Caleb Williams didn't want to go to the
No.
Bears. He's going to say all the right things, of course, because they drafted him, but he didn't want to go there.
And that's the thing. I don't think Caleb Williams has really proven that much to say goodbye to Fields. I think that's a guy that they should have paid. Justin Fields and the stuff that he can do on the field, that is a luxury right now in the NFL.
Well, and
It is.
And that's what the NFL is turning into.
Yeah,
You
it
got to
is.
have a running quarterback.
Yep.
But like Richardson, I hope he learns to get down this year.
RPO, brother. RPO. We need that
That's
run
big.
pass
We do.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Anthony has learned to slide.
If he's learned anything, I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, we need him more for 4 games this year. We do.
Definitely. Hey, it's only 100 days.
And
to
the
live.
odds are he probably will get injured this year.
Yeah,
But
most- yeah.
I don't know.
It's only 100 days till the NFL starts.
Hopefully, that offensive line
Yeah.
that is probably the highest paid in the NFL still does what they are paid to do.
Yeah. But with I was thinking about this for a long time with the draft coming up, and when it happened, I don't understand how the Colts didn't even consider looking at a quarterback, but they signed Joe Flacco. Because that was one of the best quarterback draft classes in a while.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know how you say goodbye to Gardner Minshew, too, and not pay him a little bit of money as the best backup in the NFL.
Yeah, he's probably happy to go to Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
he probably is.
He's probably real happy, especially during December
Yeah.
when it's snowing. Who wants to be in Indianapolis when it's...
I don't want to be in Indiana when it's snow.
I love Indiana summers.
Yeah.
It's the winter time. It's,
Yeah.
you know, this past winter wasn't that bad, but yeah, man, it's a really fun time for Indiana sports right now, and with baseball and softball, high school sectionals
Yeah.
popping off.
Starts this week.
Yeah. Who do you got?
For baseball sectional,
Yeah.
obviously Miss Cinewall is really, really strong this year, but that's just a really great senior class that's helping that way for Miss Cinewall right now.
There were athletes
Yeah.
in that class.
I don't know if either of you went to the Oak Hill Miss Cinewall baseball game this
No.
year, though, but
Didn't
it was,
make it.
it was a really, really good game, and it kind of came down to the 7th inning. I would like to see those two meet each other again in the sectional. I think you'll have a Grant County brawl. All my Oak Hill people are going to hate me for saying this, but I do think Mrs. Cinewall walks away with a sectional championship for baseball this year. And that is a very tough sectional that they play in.
it
That'll
is.
be a first and-
Still at Belmont,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's always, that's it. That
Horrible.
field,
Yeah.
oh boy.
It's horrible.
There's no fence down the third baseline.
Yeah. What year was it? Was it your son's sophomore year?
The fog.
Yeah.
Junior
That was
year.
my senior
Was it?
year.
Yeah, it was Keegan's
Yeah.
junior year, yeah.
Oh, was it your
Yeah,
senior
that
year?
was my senior year.
I remember, I was like, what in the hell is going on? It's
Yeah.
like the Twilight Zone.
Yep.
That's crazy. What about softball?
See, I haven't really paid attention to much softball this year, if I'm being honest. But Madison Grant not really doing as well they have in past years. But Mrs. Cinewall, you never know with that young talent. And that was a sectional that they were in the sectional championship in last year. So
Last year,
you
yep.
really never know. And these freshmen last year are now sophomores, and they're going to keep just getting older and better. But Oak Hill, they've really had an upcoming this year. I've heard a lot about it, and you really never know when it comes down to these 3A sectionals.
Yeah, Oak Hill.
Yeah, these Oak Hills girls won
Yeah.
the Grant 4 this year,
They
correct?
did.
Which we got, Coach Johnson's gonna come on here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy.
Him up.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Hey, you know what? We love interesting people,
Yes.
Markie. I think that Madison Grant's always a scary draw.
It is.
Always a scary draw. Mississippi, a lot of their teams are,
Yeah.
or a lot of the team is sophomores.
It is. And we have a lot of faith in that sophomore group right now, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they are really, really promising. Maybe some people thought they went a little bit under expectations this year. But again, they're going to learn. They're going to keep
Right.
getting better. It's the same with basketball. We
Yeah.
talked about that same group all
Yeah.
basketball season. They're going to get better. I liked what I've seen from basketball and volleyball. So you just got to kind of be patient with this group.
Yeah, yeah. I think the coach has done a good job managing the team. I really would like to see, our teams in the county
Yeah.
just shine. I really feel like a lot of these kids deserve it, especially with how hard they're working.
Yeah.
But going back to baseball, the Mississinawa boys, oh my gosh.
They're playing different right now.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple of games, 1 through 9. They are launching the baseball.
Yeah.
Multiple guys. And I've had multiple conversations with a lot of different people. And I know Scott Hunt's kind of a fan of yours. Deacon Diltz deserves to be Grant County's Athlete of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
By far.
Oh, yeah.
I like that call. I like that prediction, man.
By far.
You think he's going to get it?
I mean, football, basketball, baseball. He's just dominated all three.
Pretty much.
Just an athlete. That's,
What-
he probably could play college baseball, too.
He probably could have.
But he's going to play football. So, hey, that's
But
great.
that doesn't mean he.
Well, he could try both, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Why not? I mean,
But let's ask Markie this, since he's an IU fan. Let's get some more trivia in
Oh,
here.
gosh.
And people listening need to remember some of these questions because they might hear them one day at a contest. This guy played football and basketball for IU back in the 70s.
I don't know.
He now owns multiple Wendy's franchises.
Do you know?
is it
You're close. Say it. Spit it out.
Bill?
No.
No, all right, go ahead.
Quinn Buckner.
Okay.
He was a stud football player and a stud basketball player.
How do you know all this?
I'm old.
Not how do you know? How do you remember all
Listen,
this?
Teddy sits down and do you think this guy looks like a reader? Because that's what he does. He reads and just he's got a mental Rolodex. So yeah, he can spit that stuff out. Yeah.
It's insane.
But what helped me, honestly, I'd get up there every morning. We'd have the Chronicle there.
Yeah.
When I opened it up, I just go right to the scoreboard page.
Read everything.
Back then, they used to put the umpires in there on the box scores.
Really?
Yeah. So, well, I mean,
They need to bring that
back.
back, bro.
Oh, man. So Scott Hunt might like that. I grew up reading the Chronicle, which he's younger than me, so. But I'm sure he looked at it, too.
We need to dig up some microfiche and read some of that. Go all the way back in the Chronicle from when.
Yeah.
Because all that information is in.
You can find it.
Yeah.
It's printed somewhere. Yeah.
The Marion Library's got it all on disc.
Did you ever look at that, the microfiche on the? It was like a big projection.
You're like talking when computers first came out.
No. This is not a computer. This is your technology, man. Yeah. They have like every newspaper ever written on. It is microfiche.
I've never looked at that.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, you get on, you turn a knob, and it just goes like page by page.
I thought you were talking about them fish they used to sell at Kmart back in the aquarium section. The little dinky ones that look like a skeleton swimming.
I've never heard of a microfiche.
Oh, really? I'm gonna have to Google it to make sure I'm pretty certain that's
Okay. I trust you. I do.
All right, thank you.
Because you're fishing for something, right? You're fishing for
Yeah,
information.
because what I'm fishing for is stats, because that's what we don't have a lot of, and we need more of in
Yeah.
the newspaper.
Yeah.
High school sports.
Yeah, instead of just, this is not a shot at Scott Hunt because he does a great job.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we just get a lot of pictures and just overall how the coach feels. I would be kind of happy with like stats and what's going on, the standings of the CIC in the paper.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
Yeah, and that's hard. I know they're limited on what they can print
they are.
anymore. And
So it's microfiche, not like swimming fish. It's spelled
CH.
MICROFICH. You're right.
Okay.
E.
okay.
And it's a flat piece of film containing micro photographs of the pages of newspapers, catalogs, and other documents. It's a journal of back in the times when Teddy was a young man. That's what it says on Google.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, man, I'd like to see, like, Teddy would love that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see some stats from, what do you think? 1972? Start there?
Let's just go 1970.
1970?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. See, I notice on a lot of these, they'll show an old ball game, like on MLB Network or something
Yeah.
from back in the 70s. The umpires actually had the chest protectors that they held in front of them. Them great big old black things.
Players had the dip in their mouth.
Yep. Jim Leland's in the dugout smoking a cigarette while the game's going on.
Yeah, some of those players would go back in the clubhouse and have a beer.
That's
in between.
insane.
Or a six-pack between innings.
Yeah. David Wells.
Yeah.
That's how they made it through that many games.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Those.
See,
Like-
I've always thought that. You sit there and you think, okay, man, it'd be great to be a Major League Baseball player. But what if you're a pitcher? You're only pitching, every 3 or 4 days?
Yeah.
You got to sit through all those games you don't pitch in 3
That's what I'm saying,
hours.
yeah.
Okay, well,
Or if like the Cubs are going to New York and you don't play the next 3 games and then you play the 4th one in Chicago, that would be horrible. Having
Yep.
to travel and
red eyes.
yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Markie's kind of going on a red eye today, I think. He's not getting much rest this weekend.
Well, living
He'll
the
be
life.
all right. He'll be all right.
He's
Yeah,
all
he's a
right.
young man.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
right. I'll be right.
And
You're not calling off work tomorrow, are you?
I'm not calling up work tomorrow.
I know everybody's going to be like, man, he's an Oak Hill Eagle. What's up with the Mississinawa Indian shirt?
Well, one, I like to rep Rookies Inc. They do a good job.
Oh,
and,
hell yeah.
And number 2, I feel like I've kind of partially adopted over here and the stuff that they're doing. And when I come to Gas City, I got to rep the Indian life. So
We appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well,
You
we like
wrote-
you. We like all the county schools, too.
Yeah.
As long as
Well-
we're not playing them.
Especially if we're not playing them.
well, I play Mississinawa tomorrow, so
Oh.
junior high baseball. It
Okay.
should be a fun one.
That Oak Hill?
You scout for
Out of
that?
Bill. I do not scout for that.
Just wondering.
We have already played them though, and we beat them 9-4. So
That was,
it
that
was,
the
it was
first
an
game.
intense ball game. Yeah.
Wasn't that the first game of the year?
It was the
If
first
I
game of the
remember.
year, and Dalton's brother Eli
Yeah.
obviously plays for him, and Dalton was actually in the front row of the stands heckling me the entire game, and we had a 9-1 lead, and all of a sudden, 7-1 lead, and all of a sudden it became 7-4,
Uh-oh.
and I was like, oh gosh, and Dalton was yelling at me.
What's he saying?
So, I can't yell some of this stuff. Just severe, figure it out, or just mess with me.
Yeah.
But then again, that was my first game ever coaching too, so it was intense. It was.
Were you nervous?
I was petrified.
Really?
Yeah, it's different.
Like, so, first game, coaching, what were your fears? Like,
Just not putting them in the right positions or like situational positions, or
Okay.
because I'm a guy that likes the small ball game, bunting, squeezes, and we really didn't get to have that many practices either. So it was kind of like, I don't know the guys that can bunt right now. I don't know the guys that can run. I don't know what their strengths are defensively. And it was just really nerve-wracking going into the season, but I really learned everything about these kids and what they're capable of. I have a lot of kids that are now committed to the bunting game, and they love it. They're asking me before they on deck, hey, coach, can I bunt? I'm like, absolutely you can bunt. Absolutely. And I'd say we've probably completed 13 suicide squeezes this year.
How come they don't
Man.
slap bunt in baseball?
I just don't think it's a thing. I don't know. I don't know why
I
it's
think
not a
Mickey
thing.
Mantle used to.
I probably just because how bigger the field is. It would probably be harder to get it out of the infield. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Ichiro, a lot of his hits look like slaps.
Yeah.
If you remember that. Mm-hmm. But the dude, he always hovered around 300 batting average every year too.
That gets you into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it will.
It will, yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know if you'd like pull a kid aside who's like extra fast and be like, hey, man, we're going to start working on this.
Slapping.
Yeah. Well, the thing about, I've kind of picked this up while coaching. Like, obviously, all the baseball coaches give signs and all this. I don't like giving signs. I really don't. And so, say if there's like a pitching change, that's when I'll set something up.
Okay.
That's when I'll be like, hey, you come here. We're going to do this, this, and this, and hopefully this happens. And they'll be like, okay. And I think I like that because it's directly telling them instead of something going wrong, especially at the junior high level. A lot
Yeah.
can go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
A lot can go wrong really fast, too.
Man.
Now you have 7th and 8th graders together.
Yes, together. Yeah, we only have one team at Oak Hill.
I think that's almost all junior
Yeah.
highs are like that anymore.
You'd be surprised. A lot of schools are having 2 junior high teams, 7th
Really?
and 8th grade.
How
yeah.
are you going to get those numbers up, man?
I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. That is a very good question.
Baseball is a very difficult sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. I was not ever a good player, and like I love watching baseball.
Yeah.
But anymore, like as I'm getting older, Teddy, I'd rather watch softball.
I like watching softball too. I mean, it just depends on who's playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll watch. It's hard to watch a full baseball game on TV.
It is.
For me.
I
It is
don't
just-
know. Lately now it's kind of sped up a little bit.
I think that's helped.
I like it.
And but that's like, the high school game. There's times it takes them 3 hours.
Yeah.
But there's always a lot of pitching changes
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'll tell you what I do like, Ted. I like to order a pizza, watch a game, eat the pizza, fall asleep in the recliner. All of a sudden, I wake up and it's in the
highlights are on.
seventh. It's the 7th inning, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And now I'm back in the game.
that is a good feeling.
You know, and you're like, "Okay, all right, now here we go." Now we're like, that's when your team's like really digging into play in the 7th inning.
Well,
So
I will say
just my thoughts.
I will say though, with interest with baseball and like the younger generation, 11 of my 14 players do play travel baseball, and I think, again, the question.
Can you tell?
You can tell.
Yeah.
I was about to
You
go
can tell.
there. You can tell.
You can tell.
yeah.
So just walking out, like on the field, first day of practice.
You can tell who the travel guys are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had a kid that you were like, man, he doesn't play travel, he should?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I've had a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's hard because that's the push now. Like,
Did you play travel?
I did play travel, but I started in 7th grade, and that's the thing. When I was younger, I was the only kid in my grade playing travel baseball, and everyone was like, "Oh, why would you want to play travel baseball?" But this is what kids are finding to be fun in the summer now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's different than even when I was growing up 6 years ago.
Times have changed,
Yeah.
Teddy.
I have.
I think they're going to change again. I really do. I mean, it's getting more and more expensive to live.
Yeah.
And travel baseball is a very expensive, on top of the gear and the equipment.
Travel.
Yeah. Gas,
You're
hotel.
eating out all the
food.
time, hotels. Yeah,
It's fun though. It is.
I don't think it's like you go down and watch kids play baseball, period. It's unexplainable, like just seeing these kids
Yeah.
like what they can do
Yeah.
on a
And
baseball field.
baseball is just a different sport too. You either love it or you hate it. And kind of thing about my senior year, we had I want to say 6 or 7 seniors, and only 2 of us actually played. But we're all friends and played baseball with each other since kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those sports, kind of like football, like a brotherhood kind of sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. I've never been able to explain baseball, but it's just something.
I like
I
that, a
love,
brotherhood. Yeah. Yeah. Teddy, you ever have dreams of playing baseball? And then you wake up and play softball?
Yeah. Well, no, once I graduated, a few years later, let's get a slow pitch softball team together.
I've wanted to do that so bad.
That was a blast. That was a blast.
I recently dibble-dabbled. And when I say dibble-dabbled, I played it like 3 times. Pickleball.
Yeah.
I've never played tennis.
Are you good?
No. No. But I had a good time.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not good. Going side to side in like a 4 foot by 4 foot square, I'm pretty good at.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't even know if that's a measurement, but it doesn't, like, that square isn't that big, so.
I feel like a lot of people are picking up side sports like that
Yeah.
right now. The pickleball, golf. Golf is a huge trend right now.
Yeah.
And that's like when I started golfing, everyone was like, "Why would you want to go golfing?" And now everyone's like, "Let's go golf."
It's a lifelong sport, golf.
Yeah,
Golf's
it
a
is.
lifelong sport. You can
And
play.
that's what, honestly, when I have kids, I think I'll push golf on them. I do.
Yeah.
Because that's something you can play your whole life. And if you're good at it, I mean.
I'm pretty certain, Ted, women's golf is the most unused college scholarship
It is.
Oh, yeah.
in America is women's golf. So, everybody think about getting your daughters playing golf.
Yeah.
But
And
Hey.
that's like I've got a grandson that's playing t-ball now.
Yeah.
yeah,
But he can hit the ball better if you pitch it to him. And I'm trying to tell my son, I said, make him a switch hitter.
Yeah.
Don't just let him bat right-handed.
Yeah.
Right now, start now.
Like, why not? Yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah, it's probably best for him to be able to hit switch. So
That's a rare thing these days.
It
switch
is,
hitting.
isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I've never been around a switch hitter playing, coaching, nothing.
see, and that's something
Really?
else,
Never.
something else that's like really weird. Around here, how many pitchers can you remember that were left-handed?
Couple.
Ain't that weird?
Yeah.
It just,
I was left-handed, but I didn't pitch.
right.
Yeah.
It's, man.
did you ever try?
Okay, I pitched, but I didn't. yeah. I was in the rotation, but didn't get put in.
Yeah. Markie, go ahead, Ted.
Markie, who you got in this game going on right now? Minnesota and Denver.
I'm a big Denver fan.
All right.
Yeah.
You like the Joker?
Yeah, I do.
He doesn't look like a basketball player.
He does
does
not.
he?
No.
Not at all.
He kind of reminds me of Zach Edey. If Zach Edey can do something in the NBA when he
Hey,
goes there.
they
Yeah.
said he had a really good camp.
Really?
Said he showed some range. It was,
Really?
I don't know. That's but
I like that Edwards kid.
Anthony Edwards, he's a dog. He's a
Yeah.
special player, yeah. That's for sure.
well, you heard the rumors who his dad is.
No.
Right?
We talked about this, Ted. It's not his dad. They said that about Jimmy Butler, man. That's not his dad. He don't smoke cigars. This dude, like,
That's Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow does smoke
He
cigars.
does do that.
So does Michael.
I know.
MJ smokes cigars. But, hey, thank you for
Yes.
taking time out of your day.
It's always nice to come here.